guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Taron Egerton. So yeah, that's right, I'm back with my best of videos. If you haven't checked out any of them, I'll leave it up here. I'm thinking about creating a playlist, so I'll leave the playlist up here. So yeah, today we're talking about Taron Egerton. Again, you guys were pretty torn between him and someone else, which I'm not going to say because eventually I'll get into his movies. But yeah, so you guys were 50-50 both on Twitter and on Instagram, so I just decided who I wanted to talk about. And I feel like Taron isn't talked enough. Like, he was pretty big when Kingsman came out, but then I don't know, I just don't see people appreciating him as much as I think people should. As with all the guys, and mainly the guys, as with all the guys that I've been talking in my best of videos, I just don't think they are appreciated enough. James McAvoy, Andrew Garfield, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, I think all of them are great actors, and for some reason people don't acknowledge them. So yeah, I've rambled enough. I don't want this video to get too long as they usually do. So yeah, let's just get into my list. So just like I did with Mike Flanagan, this time I'm not going to have honorable mentions because Taron doesn't have a lot of movies. He has like 9 movies, 2 or 3 TV shows, but he is working on 3 more movies if I'm not mistaken, 3 or 4. So it's not like he has stopped. He's working on stuff. Unfortunately, those things haven't come out yet, so I can only talk about the ones that are out. So yeah, because he doesn't have a lot of movies, I'm going to stick with my top 5. So let's get into it. My number 5, it's an odd one. I don't think I had an animated movie in this top 5 movies of people. But yeah, so my number 5 is Sing from 2016, directed by Garth Jennings. And as I said, this is an animated movie about a koala that starts a singing competition. It's like really simple, it's easy, it's a kids movie, but I really enjoyed it. When I watched it, I wasn't expecting. And besides Taron, it has a major voice cast. It has Matthew McConaughey, Scarlett Johansson. It has a lot of people, and it's a musical, an animated musical. So they all sing, as does Taron, and he is an amazing singer. I'll get into it later on this list, but he has like 2 songs in this movie, and once I watched this, I was listening to those songs like non-stop. So this has great music, one, and it's just fun and heartwarming, and yeah, it's an easy movie but a really good movie nonetheless. So if you don't feel like watching something like deep, this is a perfect movie and I really recommend it. They're working on Sing 2, so yeah. My 4th movie is one that I don't see anyone talk about, but for some reason here in Portugal it is on TV like all the time. And recently I watched it and I was like mind blown. And I'm talking about Testament of Youth from 2014. Directed by James Kent. This is based on a First World War memoir by Vera Brittain. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And this movie one, it's a true story, and it's a true story about young love and the futility of war and how to deal with these dark times like the war, and yeah, what comes with all of this. It's a really sad movie. I'm going to say that. It's even worse because you know this is a true story, and from what I've read, it's pretty accurate, and everything that this girl goes through is just so hard to watch. Like, it's really unpredictable. Although if you know the story, it might not be unpredictable for you. You might know what's going to happen, but for me, that I had no idea that this was even a true story. It was really unpredictable and sad, and yeah. But although this is really sad, everything looks really beautiful. Yeah, I really liked how it was real but beautiful at the same time, because you're watching war stuff. Like, it's not really a war movie, but it's a war romance, I would say. So you're not at war through the whole movie, but when you see the war scenes, it's like really real and raw, but at the same time it's really beautiful. So I really liked how the cinematography and like everything was constructed that gave you a real feeling without being like too harsh. It was beautiful to watch, and it's a love story for the most part. So yeah, but just keep in mind, this is really sad. My number 3, it's one that I watched it like a week ago, and I was mind blown. I was so happy watching this movie. It's a pretty big contrast from my number 4. But yeah, I'm talking about Eddie the Eagle from 2015, directed by Dexter Fletcher. And this movie, again, it's another true story about Eddie Edwards, a British ski jumper that just, he never stops believing in himself, even though no one believes him. He just keeps trying. And yeah, it's a really heartwarming story. I don't know how to explain this, but yeah, it just makes you feel good. And it is cliche at times, but it is also really unpredictable. There were stuff that I wasn't expecting, so I liked that, but it has that cliche feeling. Yeah, but I didn't mind. I liked it. I read that this isn't like really true to what happened, but I think the feel is there, and the intention and the message, so I still liked it. I really enjoyed it, and again, Taron is great. There's another song of his in the credits, which again, I have been listening to that song for so long. Even before watching the movie, I was just so addicted to it. So yeah. So on to my number 2, and which I think is Taron's best acting like ever. It's not my favorite movie of his, but I think it's the one that he's the best in. And I don't know how he wasn't nominated for an Oscar for this role, because I don't think there were many people that could pull this off and be so believable. Yeah, I feel like I say this in all of these best of movies because these actors are just so great. But yeah, I was really rooting for him to be nominated for this movie. And I'm talking about Rocketman from 2019, once again directed by Dexter Fletcher. And I feel like you all know what this movie is about, but it's basically Elton John's life. It's like a really sparkly version of what happened, but once again, just like Eddie the Eagle, I feel like this is enough true to what happened, and just lets you know what you need, even though there's stuff that are reimagining and just really out there. This is a full-on musical. It really leans into the musical aspect, which In the beginning, I wasn't a really big fan of. I'm not really a big fan of musicals, but the more I thought about the movie and the more I thought about how it is constructed, I started really appreciating the musical numbers and how they are integrated into the movie. Yeah, it's a really well crafted movie. It's so unique, and yeah, again, I listened to this soundtrack so many times. I really appreciated like the music and yeah, how it all is constructed. And yeah, again, it's Taron's best performance ever, and Elton John wanted him to play him. He wanted Taron to play Elton John, so that says a lot. And yeah, so my number one might be like a really predictable one, but I just don't care. This is my favorite movie of his. I don't think it is his best performance. Rocketman is his best performance, like no doubt, but I just never get tired of this movie. And I'm talking about Kingsman: The Secret Service from 2014, directed by Matthew Vaughn. I just love this movie. I feel like you all know this movie, but if you don't, this is basically about a secret spy organization that recruits this kid, this street kid, to get into their training program to become a spy. And then there's a villain and all that. So it sounds really basic, but there's nothing basic about this movie. It's really out there. This is R-rated, and for you to have an idea how gory this is, when they are playing it on TV, which is kind of a lot here in Portugal, and I watch this like so many times when it is on TV because I never get tired of it. But every time this plays on TV, not only this first one, but also the second one, which I also really like, but yeah, they have to cut parts of the movie because of how gory they are, because how graphic they are. So yeah, this is not like a spy movie cliche. It's really out there, and that's what I love about this movie. It's so unique, so clever, so gory and fun. And I love that this movie also makes fun of itself, makes fun of his spy genre, and I love that about movies. That's definitely one of the best things about this movie. It's how like they make fun of themselves, that and like the camera work and the cinematography. Oh my god, I love what Matthew Vaughn does with this movie. It makes it so unique, and that action scenes are just so damn good. And again, I love how graphic it is. Being a horror fan, I love how they mix the horror into this superhero-esque thing, like action spy movie. It's so fun, and again, I never get tired of this movie. It just holds a special place in my heart. I will never forget when I went to the cinema completely blind to watch this movie, and how mind blown I was with how amazing it is. So yeah, if you haven't seen Kingsman, or if you haven't seen the second one, just give it a chance. Yeah, you're going to love it. Even more if you love action movies, and if you're a fan of horror, yeah, this is even gorier than some horror movies. So yeah, this is perfect. So yeah guys, these are my favorite Taron Egerton movies. Let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. If it is one that I haven't mentioned in this list, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've watched all these movies, what do you think of them, and if you haven't, just check them out. And yeah, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video.